does is it puts a legal obligation on any tech platform that when you are notified by a victim that it is non-consensual intimate images, you must take it down and take it down immediately. That is needed, and that is needed desperately. Now, where this bill is, it has passed the Senate. It has passed the Senate unanimously. 100-0. Amy and I worked on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, every single Democrat.
Breaking news. Senator Ted Cruz is calling on Speaker Mike Johnson to urgently pass the Take It Down Act. The bill demands tech platforms remove non-consensual intimate images when reported by victims. Recently, Cruz shared how he managed to get harmful images removed from Snapchat in just hours. He stressed that victims shouldn't need government intervention to protect their privacy. The Senate has unanimously passed the bill, but now it's in the House, where the push is on to pass it before the year ends. Cruz has highlighted the bill's bipartisan support and the urgency of the issue, especially for women, children, and teens. Senator Amy Klobuchar joined him, emphasizing the importance of protecting privacy without infringing on free speech. She pointed out how AI-generated deepfakes and sextortion crimes are making the problem worse. The Take It Down Act aims to tackle these growing threats to privacy and mental health. Victims often suffer from harassment, job insecurity, and even suicidal thoughts. Congresswoman Maria Salazar also spoke out, underlining the bipartisan nature of this common-sense solution. Victims like Ellison Berry and Francesca Mani shared their personal stories, describing the trauma of their images being exploited through AI. They urged Congress to act swiftly to prevent others from experiencing similar harm. Both teams expressed their gratitude for the bill's potential to give victims a voice and provide legal recourse against tech platforms that fail to act. This call to pass the bill underscores the urgent need to prevent further harm and protect vulnerable individuals from these violations. So, what do you think? Is the Take It Down Act the solution we need right now? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this crucial issue.
Remedy the situation. I turned to my staff in my office that day. I said, I want you to get the CEO of Snapchat on the phone today. I want those pictures down today. Within an hour, they were pulled down. Now, you know what? It should not take a sitting U.S. Senator or a sitting member of Congress to make a phone call to get this garbage down. Every victim should have the right to say, that's me, that's my image, and you do not have my permission to put this garbage out there. And what the Take It Down Act does is it puts a legal obligation on any tech platform that when you are notified by a victim that it is non-consensual intimate images, you must take it down and take it down immediately. That is needed, and that is needed desperately. Now, where this bill is, it has passed the Senate. It has passed the Senate unanimously. 100-0. Amy and I worked on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats. Every single Democrat in the Senate supported, every single Republican in the Senate supported it. The bill has now gone over to the House. And we're here today where Maria is leading the fight in the House to get it done there. We're here today, all of us have spoken to House leadership, urging the House to take it up and pass it before the end of the year. You know, there's a process the House has, something called the suspension calendar. And it's a process to take up bills and pass them very quickly on an expedited schedule. If this bill gets a vote in the House, it will pass. The only question is, will it get a vote or not? And so we're here today on behalf of the victims, on behalf of women, on behalf of teenage girls across this country to say, bring this up for a vote, pass it, and put it on the president's desk. We can get it done, and we can get it done before the end of the year. And with that, I want to introduce my partner in crime, Senator Amy Klobuchar.
All right, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Ted, and thank you for your leadership on this bill. We've worked on it, as he noted, together. Every so often, Ted and I disagree on a few issues. It's happened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. We've had a few viral moments, but maybe this will be. And that's because I have really appreciated his willingness to take on these tech issues. It's a pretty lonely thing to do, actually, on a number of fronts. He's been supportive of that work, and it's not not an easy thing to do. I remember several hearings in judiciary unrelated to this bill where he was supportive of our work. And I've had ads run against me on this stuff, all kinds of things. It's not easy. So this accomplishment of getting this bill through the Senate was no small thing. I want to thank Representative Salazar. I know Representative Dean on the Democratic side has been working with you on this. And we mostly want to thank those brave souls with Elliston and Francisco, Breeze, Samantha, and the others that are here in the front row who have come forward and have been willing to speak out about their experience. I don't like the thought, as much as we have unanimous support over here, of going through next year, and there's going to be a whole lot of hearings going on, nominations, things on the calendars, and why don't we just get this done now? And what a holiday gift it would be for those who have fought for so long to get it done.
I agree.
Yes.
Dispatch Valencia from Epoch Times Español. I just first want to thank the victims for sharing their story and wanted to ask if there are any plans for just raising awareness to the community, not only like Texas, Florida, there's a big Hispanic community there. Is there any plans to also educate people in other languages inside the U.S.?
Absolutely, and today is part of that, but we're spending a lot of time doing interviews, and I'll tell you, nothing is more powerful than what these courageous women and men are doing right now. I mean, every one of them, they're sharing a very personal pain that it would be easy to say, I don't want to talk about this. That was that was, as Samantha talked about, she's talking about the worst day of her life and then getting re-victimized every time someone watches the video of that horrific crime over and over again. And it takes courage. Listen, I got to tell you, I've been inspired. I've been inspired by the courage that all of you are demonstrating. And I think the single best way to raise awareness is, frankly, for the politicians to get out of the way and just let people tell real stories. Elliston and I were talking last night about how, you think about human memory. Almost every memory you have is a story. That's how our brain works. We think in terms of story. A statistic, I mentioned that this is increasing 3,000%. That, for most people, doesn't move them very much. That's a number. It's abstract. It doesn't seem real. When you look in the eyes of people who felt this pain directly, you understand it differently. When Brandon talks about how his son Gavin will never be here again. Look, all of us are parents. There were more than a few of us who had tears in our eyes as we heard Brandon telling that story. The greatest nightmare for any parent is to lose a child.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the compelling reasons not to delay. If this will pass eventually, but if it passes a year from now, how many other victims will be victimized? How many girls will be victims? How many parents will lose a child because Congress delayed and we couldn't act? And so we're not going to let that happen. We're going to do everything we can to say, let's have the urgency that you would have if it was your child that was potentially facing this tomorrow.
Starting right now.
And so that is exactly what we're endeavoring to do.
Here, guys. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. You guys are fantastic.
Okay. Good job.
I'm going to go talk to police and guys are running the floor right now and just start loud and start.